Hello guys, as we are now here for the 4th event of the Consolation Clash for Marble Clash Competition Season 2. That's right, we are back here with the Dropoff. This event was event 7 in the main tournament, and now we're going to be going back here again for the Consolation Clash teams. How will they do here? Well, we're going to see and find out. In the overall standings, the Pilot Patriots have taken the lead ahead of the Brown Bonsais, who were the winners of the funnels in the previous event. As we're going to take a look at the colors again, going from 0 to 10. And the goal, as if you can remember, the goal is to try to get your team to get to the closest best score as possible while being interfered with the other team. Anyways, we're going to be starting off with the Solar Rays and the Serpent Soldiers. As we look right here, and wait a minute! Oh my god, the Solar Rays! That is not a great start for them. They have 2 that fell off the board, and 1 stranded on the course. This is not looking good for the Solar Rays. That means they're only going to get the souls that are only marble, just the whole points for them. But as we look at the Serpent Soldiers, they did a pretty good run there. 24.5. And what you look at that from the Solar Rays, 7 points. That is not a great start for them. Man, that's really going to affect their score as well. As I can remember, only the first round and the second round scores will be counted for both of their runs. And they will be added together to make their official total score. As we're looking at, wait a minute, oh my god! Would you look at that from both the seaweeds and elements of nature? But more specifically for elements of nature, but look at that, 3 of their marbles nearly have all 10s, I believe. Are they all 10s? No, one of them is a 9, but look at that total, 31.5, and only a 28 for the seaweeds. Man, that was a great score. And if I just looked at, when the elements of nature were coming down, they bumped into their 3rd member, which was Earth. And they just were able to fall back a bit and just lose out a bit of points haul, just to hoping to get a bigger score. But anyways, looking at Shadow Assassins and Clover Clash, looks like Clover Clash has a member DNFing. Yes, they do. As we're taking a look, I was still explaining what I was talking about, but anyways, back to what we were saying, or back to what we were going through, as we're looking at Shadow Assassins and Clover Clash. Look at that, that was a really close one. Which is that Clover Clash gets a 10, but their last marble is going to hurt them, and they only get themselves 18. And the Shadow Assassins got 23, so they sit in 4th, while Clover Clash will sit in 5th. And now we move on to the Plastic Viewers and the Brown Bonsais. Let's see how they'll do. As we were looking at the Brown Bonsais, they have a member leading. I think one of them decided to charge in for them to try to mess up their score. But I don't think they managed to. But the Brown Bonsais, they have gotten a 10, I believe. If I can tell from that angle. Yeah. That first Plastic Viewers marble tried to sabotage them, but 2 of the Brown Bonsais members kept them safe and keeps them in the 10. That's a great teamwork there. But a total 21 is going to put them in 5th, and the Plastic Viewers are going to sit in 6th place. Now let's move on to the Green Beans and the Pizza Parties. And off they go. Pizza Parties, they have 3 members leading. And here they come down to the bottom. And it looks like they're going to stay that way. And it looks like one of the Green Beans members have gotten themselves stuck. And that's going to be a measly 0 for them. They were that last marble that was falling behind. And they were just stranded. So it looks like nothing really much happened here. But still, regardless. Oh wait, look at that! The Pizza Party's got a 10, but their other scores kind of hurting them a bit, getting a 20.5, which is going to put them solidly in 6th place. Alright, next up, Prison Pathfinders and the Pilot Patriots. Our leaders in this heat. And let's see how they'll do in their first run. Meanwhile, 2 Prison Pathfinders marbles lead. Would you look at that? I think that middle point for the Pilot Patriots, that's going to give them a 10, but they get a 0 for the one the marbles falling off. Same thing going for the Prison Pathfinders. Yes, we see right there, a Prison Pathfinders member fell on the right, and then a Pilot Patriots member fell on the left right after. And yes, that is a 10 for the Pilot Patriots, and they beat the Prison Pathfinders by 0.5. But their scores were so low, that puts them in 10th and 11th respectively. It's not about winning the run, it's about trying to get a high score as possible. But let's see how they'll do from the Skyrockets and the Rainbow Riders. And it looks like only 2 members of the Rainbow Riders will only count as a score as they get a DNF. And a member falling off the grid. And as for the Skyrockets, they all went too far to the left. That's not really what they want to be, as they were coordinated away from the bullseye. That's not a good one to go for. And a 17 for the Rainbow Riders. Despite that 10, their last 2 are just going to hurt them. And that's going to only put them in 11th. Now for the Sub-Zeros and Team Moonlight, and they were halfway through the runs. Sub-Zeros, who are known as the winners of the Consolation Clash Dropoff, and they have set a record for it, but it was sadly broken by the Ramen Bombshells. And whoa! How did that Team Moonlight member fell all so far away from the grid? And that second one, let's see. Oh, I just gotta breathe a bit. A Sub-Zeros and a Team Moonlight member clashed into each other. And the Team Moonlight member just went flying off the course. And that horrible score from the last 2 gives them a total of 3.5. That's the worst score we've seen so far. My God. As for Sub-Zeros, their first run is going to put them in 2nd place. And so far, Elements of Nature was the one that got the best result in the first runs of all the teams. But now, let's see how the teams will do on their 2nd run, as we're going to be going back to Serpent Soldiers and Solar Rays. Lots of contacting there. This one's a really messy one, and the Solar Rays have got another DNF just from that gaming hole. And look at that Serpent Soldiers member just flying off there. Let's see what happened. A few clashes there. That second Serpent Soldier member just went rolling away. But good news, they're okay. But the scores, ooh, those are really low scores there. 13 and 11.5. The Solar Rays is really going to hurt their score a bit. Just a 7 and 13 is not a great combo there. This is not going to be looking good for the Solar Rays going into the final scoring. But anyways, Seaweeds and Elements of Nature now. Ooh, really close, but look at Elements of Nature. That was a good one there. And it looks like the Seaweeds have a DNF here. Maybe the Marbles might have a bit of a help here. I didn't get a brief look. It looks like they got an 8. And they got another one right after. No one got a 10 here as well. And they both made really good results nonetheless. 25.5 for Elements of Nature. That is another good run from them. This could really have a chance for them to win the event, I would say. But anyways, now let's move on to Shadow Assassins and the Clover Clash. As we see right here, Clover Clash has a member leading. Oh, lots of contacts that 2 Clover Clash members have fallen off, and 1 Shadow Assassins member has fallen off as well. As we're looking at those 2 Clover Clash members, they're spread out way too much from the bullseye, which is really going to affect their score, I would say. As Shadow Assassin member was about to get that 10 there, but their other members just bumped into them. And they finished off with 3 8s, giving them a total of 24 to put them in 2nd. And an 8.5 for Clover Clash, and they sit in dead last. Now we move on to Brown Bonsais and Plastic Viewers. Can either of them get a better run from their first one? As we see right here. Ooh, what you looking at for the Plastic Viewers? They get a 10 there. And that last Brown Bonsais member affected the Plastic Viewers on getting a 9, and instead it will be an 8. Ooh, that last Plastic Viewers member fell off. A Brown Bonsais member has fallen off the grid, so that's a 0. And it looks like 24.5 for Plastic Viewers. They sit in 2nd. That is a better run from their first one. And the Brown Bonsais are staying well below. Now for Pizza Parties and the Green Beans. Can either of them make an improvements here? Let's find out and see. And off they go. And it looks like who's leading right now is a Green Bees member, but they fall off. Same with a Pizza Party's member. And this one is kind of quite spread out. And those two teams haven't been really showing much entertainment, I would say. I don't really know how to interpret it, I would say, but yeah, that Pizza Party's, oh, they nearly get a 10, but they fell back to an 8. And they only get a 21, and the Green Bees only got 15. They both will sit in 5th and 6th, respectively. Now move on to 3 more runs, as we're looking at Pilot Patriots and the Prison Pathfinders. Off they go. It's really close here. Pilot Patriots have a member lead. No, it's Prison Pathfinders. And would you look at the Prison Pathfinders? They have gotten themselves 2 10s. Both of them lined up really well there. And that Pilot Patriots member sabotaged their other member to make both of them not get the 10. Instead, one of them makes it to a 1 at the very left. And a 26.5 for the Prison Pathfinders. That's going to put them in 1st place as of the second half runs. However, though, the first one wasn't really great, which probably won't put them on the podium or whatsoever. But we'll see what happens after this. But anyways, we're looking at Skyrockets and Rainbow Riders now. And it looks like, whoa, look, that's a really weird coordination there. And what you look at for one of the Rainbow Riders members, they have DNF'd. And they also have another member falling off the course. The Rainbow Riders have gotten a double DNF in both of their runs. Man, that did not look good for them. But what you're looking at from the coordination, there are three lines all coordinating with each other. But Skyrockets get a 17.5. And while the Rainbow Riders, they only get themselves a 13. And now we move on to our last run, Team Moonlight and the Sub-Zeros. Can they make big improvements? I'm not sure about Team Moonlight though with their 3.5 score. We'll see how Sub-Zeros will do. They don't do great. They have one member falling off. And the other 3 are just spread out a bit too far away from the bullseye. But they only made it around the 6s. As we look at Team Moonlight. As we look at that member just crawling their way into the 10 there by bumping into one of the members. Yes, they did. 24.5. That puts them in 3rd. And a 16.5 Sub-Zeros that puts them in 9th. As for Team Moonlight, they are not going to get a great score out of it. But as of now, the Prison Pathfinders take the win. And as an overall scoring. And that's it. The Elements of Nature have taken the goal by a big shot. Well done to Elements of Nature. They will be taking the gold, Seaweeds get the silver, and the Shadow Assassins will be taking the bronze. In our overall standings, the Pilot Patriots keep the lead by 1 point over the Shadow Assassins, followed by Brown Bonsais, and then the Seaweeds, and then Sub-Zeros. MCC Season 2 will be going on a mid-break, but don't worry, there will be a special event for the Paintballers they are setting up, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't worry, we'll be back. See you guys next time. Bye!